We're at the Clean Air Car Check Vehicle Emissions Testing Station in Griffith, Indiana. It is part of the Indiana Vehicle Emissions Testing Program.
All right, so what would you say the main function of this facility is?
In a couple of counties in Indiana, vehicles that are registered here are required to undergo a biannual emissions test because our counties are out of compliance with the EPA's standards for what is air quality standards for ozone. So to try and find ways to reduce the measurements of ozone in our area, emissions testing has been put in place to bring those numbers down.
Okay. What do you know about PCV valves?
Actually, it's a component of the emissions control system. I am not a mechanic. I don't know exactly what a PCV valve does, but I know along with the other components of the emission control system, it's a part that needs to be maintained, and it should be changed anytime that it's not functioning normally, because when it's not functioning normally, it's going to cause an increase in emissions.
Would you explain how the emissions test works?
Sure. The type of test the vehicle receives depends on the model year of the vehicle. So we test all the way back to model year 1976. 1976 through 1980 gets a single speed idle test. So the vehicle pulls in, we stick a probe in the tailpipe that collects and analyzes the emissions, and the vehicle is not driven, it's just left to idle. The second type of test we do normally on a 1981 through 95 is called an inspection and maintenance 93, IM 93. We actually drive the vehicle on a device called the dynamometer. It's essentially a treadmill for a car. And while it's being driven on a very specific drive trace with certain accelerations and decelerations, those tailpipe emissions are collected and analyzed as well.